I used to work as a late-night food delivery driver to pay my way through college. Most of the time, the job was incredibly boring, just driving around empty suburban streets, listening to podcasts, and dropping off fast food to drunk college kids. But there is one delivery from 3 years ago that still makes me check my rearview mirror every single time I drive at night. Jens, it was a Tuesday around
1:45 a.m.
It was completely dead, and I was about to clock out when a notification popped up on my phone. It was a massive order for a local diner, and the tip attached was almost $40. I couldn't pass that up. I picked up the food and checked the delivery address. It was taking me out of the town limits, way out into the rural, heavily wooded part of the county. The instructions on the app were oddly specific. They read, "House is at the end of the dirt road. Leave food on the porch. Flash your headlights twice so I know you are here. Do not knock." I figured it was just someone with sleeping dogs or a sleeping baby. I drove for about 20 minutes, eventually turning off the paved highway onto a narrow, unlit dirt road. The trees on both sides were so thick they practically swallowed my car. Boom das. After driving a mile down the dirt path, I reached the end. My headlights swept across the property. My stomach instantly tied itself in a knot. There was a house, but it was completely abandoned. The roof was caved in, the windows were smashed or boarded up, and the front yard was overgrown with tall, dead weeds. There were no cars, no lights, nothing. My first instinct was to just turn around and leave. But the app said the drop-off was here, and I really needed that $40 tip. I kept my car running, shifted into park, and left my headlights shining directly onto the rotting wooden porch. I grabbed the bags, stepped out of my car, and walked quickly to the porch. I set the food down on the rotting wood, practically running back to the safety of my driver's seat. I locked the doors, took a deep breath, and flashed my headlights twice, just like the instructions asked. 1, 2. Planned when my headlights flicked back on the second time. Someone was standing directly in front of my car. He hadn't come from the house. He had come from the woods behind my car. He was tall, wearing a filthy, oversized hunting jacket with the hood pulled up. His face was completely shadowed. He just stood there, dead center in the glow of my high beams, staring at me. Panic exploded in my chest. I slammed my hand on the horn, hoping the loud noise would scare him off. He didn't flinch. Instead, he slowly reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a heavy steel tire iron. He took a slow step toward my windshield. I didn't even think. I threw the car into reverse and slammed my foot on the gas pedal. My tires spun in the mud before catching, launching my car backward into the pitch-black dirt road. I drove in reverse in the dark for what felt like an eternity, terrified I was going to crash into a tree. When I finally hit the paved road, I spun the wheel, shifted into drive, and sped all the way to the nearest police station. The cops went out to the property. An hour later, the man was gone, but the food was still sitting exactly where I left it on the porch. They didn't order the food to eat. They used the delivery app as bait. They were waiting in the woods for whoever showed up, and if I hadn't kept my car running, I don't think I would have made it out of those woods.